Traders, hopefully everyone is having a good day today. All market indices up today. Now, before I get into the show, I really do want to thank all my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Now, if you're not a subscriber and you happen to be watching the show, go ahead and do so. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. All right, with that said, let's go over the ETF, the SPDR ETF. We're going to give you a couple of resistance points, some support lines, and then we're going to see what tomorrow will bring in the SPDRs, right? Because usually that either indicates either we're going to get an overall good market in other equities, or there's going to be a little bit of tailwind. Okay, so I like trading off the SPY to give me a better indicator of how our other stocks are going to do. All right, so quickly, let's go over the SPY. As you can see on the screen, we did gap lower today on the SPY. We closed near the high of the day. That's usually a great sign, guys. So I'm really looking for a continuation of today's movement towards the end of the day to keep going. I want to show you, we did close right above that 10 SMA. Great sign. I love it. And then on that 513 EMA chart, which I really like, the 5 is still above the 13. As you can see, the SPY defended that 13 EMA at 353 today. Hopefully that'll hold. Hopefully we make a higher high tomorrow, and then we can challenge that 52-week high going into next week. Okay, guys, that is the SPY. All right, let's go quickly over the 3 stocks that I gave you yesterday. All right, so the first one's going to be that TLRY. So if you remember from yesterday's show, I said TLRY was a great risk-reward setup. Now, it did go down 5%, about 40 cents. I said watch this very closely. Now, if it doesn't take that first 30-minute candle out, it would be a no play. That would indicate a move lower, especially if it went below yesterday's low, which it did, guys. It went below 712, and then it went below that 705 stop that I had mentioned, right, guys? So now what? Real quickly, let's target this 50 SMA right here, this yellow line right down here at $6.14. But there is one little, a bigger area of support. It's going to be that 9 weekly SMA. Let's bring that up real quick right here. Let's zoom in. All right. So if you can see that 9 SMA support level is right there at 641. So if tomorrow this stock goes down to 641, 645, you may want to put an alert. Hopefully, if it goes down there, you pick up a few shares. Let's see if it bounces off that area. That's what I'm going to do. I did get stopped out today at 705, and then I will be a buyer back. I'll have an alert set to see if 641 will hold. I will, be a buyer right around that area. Okay, guys, TLRY. Next stock that I had mentioned yesterday was STNG. Guys, if, go back, go listen to yesterday's show. I'm glad I record these things because then it does not make me look like a liar. I did say there's going to be a lot of support at 1055, which was that 10 SMA, and that 9 SMA on the weekly was 1056. If you look at that low of the day, right, it's 1057. Guess what? I did say there was a ton of support. Again, go back to yesterday's show. Take a look. You can watch yesterday's show right on my channel. You could see that, that's exactly what I said. And look where it held. 1057 was the low of the day. In fact, I bought a few more shares when it went right to 1060, right? Because I knew if it was, I added to my position right there. So now what? I do see it again. This one closed near the high of the day, closed at 1128. High of the day was 1134. I do see a continuation in this. We did close above that 50-day moving average. If you remember, I did say there's going to be a lot of resistance between 1165 and 1175. I do see we were going to challenge that tomorrow, and hopefully we can break that through, and hopefully coming into next week, we are going to see that $12, $13, $14 price target that I've set in STNG. Next stock that I talked about was PLL yesterday. Real quick, let's go over it. Again, this was one that I said there was the 9 SMA at 25.25 and the 10 SMA at 25.46. Now, this went down to 24.51, right? But again, once it got back over, guys, let me bring this up on the chart, on the intraday chart this time. All right, look at this, guys. It consolidated right here, right? Consolidated. Now, as soon as it got back over that 25.55 area, which is obviously above the 25 and the 25.46, and it didn't break below that, that was the buy point right there at 25.54, guys. And then look at what happened. It just started going up the rest of the day. Now, again, granted, the market did turn, and we did finish near the highs of the day, so that gave us a little bit of a tailwind. But you know what, guys? If you got in, you knew that your risk-reward setup was right there. It started breaking above that 25.55, where I had mentioned, right, where support was 25.25. We were above that, broke above that. Again, if you wanted to get in and then you knew your out would have been that low of the day right there. Okay, guys, that is PLL. Now let's go into 3 stocks that look really good going into tomorrow. First one's going to be VUZI. Again, this is one that we've played in the past. It's looking really good again. Look, take a look, guys. We had that earnings. It came down, gap down, consolidated here a little bit. But then I really, this came on my radar. It started breaking above that 10 SMA right here at 1078. So I was watching it. There wasn't much volume, and the stock actually went up a lot more than usual, right? It was up 29 cents on 1.2 volume. That's a big move for the amount of shares, right? So again, let's bring this up on that 513, guys. I'm going to show you something real quick, the 513 EMA that I really like to play off of. So this is a reversal pattern right here. Now, even though the 5 is below the 13 EMA, this big green candle right here, this indicates usually a reversal right here. So this is the way to play this tomorrow. Now, let's get long right above today's high tomorrow, and then you use today's low as your out. Okay, guys? So that's a 34-cent, 35-cent risk-reward setup. But again, if this is the bottom, we'll probably run back up to these, the 52-week high of 531. So watch us very closely tomorrow. Again, if there is a sell-off in the market, then watch for some key supports, support levels. Don't be a buyer, okay? If the market's weak, don't be a buyer. But if you do get in tomorrow after today's high or over that first 30-minute candle, then use, again, this low, today's low of the day, which is 365 as your out. All right, guys. Next stock that looks really good going into tomorrow is going to be ACHV. I think the trade location can't get much better than this, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to zoom in, right? All right, so I did mention this a few times in the past, but take a look at this, guys. It hit that 200-day moving average, and it bounced right above that 200-day moving average, guys. So tomorrow, how to play it? Maybe a little bit of a shakeout early on. If you could get in right below, $9. Hopefully it doesn't gap and go. Hopefully you could get a few shares. But then again, remember, guys, use this. There's going to be support, a little bit of support right here at 859, right here, right at that 200-day moving average. We saw that today at 856. It dipped right below it, but the buyers came in and stepped right up. So for tomorrow, be a buyer above today's high, which is 945, right, 946 in that area, or wait for a little bit of dip if you want to wait, and then be a seller right here. The other chart that I like on this, on that 513 EMA, where it shows a lot of support, is going to be, on the 9 SMA. Here we go. Let's bring this up right here. Take a look, guys. Look, that 9 SMA right here, the support on that one is at 886. So you have, again, this is going to be very similar to STNG, where you have that support at the 9 SMA on the weekly, and then that 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average, which is also right there. So again, be a buyer above that first 30-minute candle, and then set your stop right there at 859 on ACHV. Okay, the last stock that looks really good going into tomorrow is going to be ESPR, Aspirium Pharmaceuticals. Let's bring this up on that on the chart real quick right here. All right, guys, take a look. If you take a look at this, look what happened. Sold off today, gap down, hit that 10 SMA right here, which is that blue line, held it really nicely at 28.49. So guess what, guys? For tomorrow, be a buyer above today's high tomorrow, and then use today's support of 28.49, which is that blue line right here, as your out. So your risk reward setup on this one is going to be about $1, okay? So again, be a buyer above that first 30-minute candle, and then use your out of 28.49 in ESPR. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Again, my name is Eric, and you could reach me either by leaving a comment right down below, or just by emailing me at eric@valueareatrader.com. Now, again, if you're not a subscriber and you like the show, please go ahead and do so. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. I try to give you, support levels, resistance levels, try to, tell you exactly when to get in, when to get out. I try to do the heavy lifting for you. All right, guys. Again, my name is Eric. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow after the close. And remember to trade smart and be safe.